Hello, hello, and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, and we are very close now to what was once called Grid AI, and is now called Automatons. Well, we are going to have a lot of fun with this coming update. It'll enable us to make drones like this a lot easier. If you've watched my beta videos, and I hope you have, there's a lot of stuff to go over when the full thing comes out. There's even more. Keen have been very kind to put up some information on their official website. I will link that in the description below this video, and it shows you the ins and outs of the new blocks that are coming to Space Engineers in April. That's right, we have an April release for this update, and I could not be more stoked. Hopefully, Keen have implemented a lot of the feedback from the beta test, where we had just a great time playing around with these new blocks, making the new airlocks, making the new drones, making them more efficient, making them better, because with the new drones you can detect when a cargo container is full and empty and using the event controller trigger a series of recorded flight path blocks for docking and undocking and all sorts of great things that you need timer blocks to do when you're playing with the retail, as I am now. I'm back on the retail version of Space Engineers, not on the beta anymore. The beta blocks were disabled, and that meant this particular save I took a copy of is no longer usable at the moment. Hopefully, when the update comes out, that will change, but I will probably go through my save anyway and rebuild all of my drones to take advantage of this brand new update. Why are we here, though? Well, I thought it might be nice to continue with the remote control tutorial. Remember part 1 of the remote control tutorial? We took a spin around several waypoints, and I showed you how to make your drone return to a landing platform like this and land, or at least land over the connector, because I wanted to leave part 2 with a few more advanced options you can trigger on your drones. Here's my little light drone here, just patrolling the base. It's about to come down onto the connector, and it's about to lock there for about 60 seconds or so, where it will, or is it 30 seconds? It's an amount of time. It can be changed by using the timer block on the drone, but basically just enough to pull some uranium on board if we were playing in survival, and start its light patrol around the base using waypoints, basically, to tell it where to go. Now, when we get automatons, there is an idle option that allows a drone to wander your base location based on a GPS marker or a beacon and patrol around there idly. So you can use it as a guardian drone, put some guns on it, or a light drone like I'm doing, and let it just fly around randomly patrolling the base at night. Talking of which, I think it's going to get darker soon, so we're going to go to the time of day, and we're going to scroll all the way till it goes dark, and then we're going to bring back the sun over here. Let's have a look. No. All right, let's see. We go this way instead. I love being able to change the time of day in Space Engineers. There we go. There's the sun. Let's have it there. So, where are we then? Well, the light on. Here's our landing pad. There it is. And our landing pad has 2 waypoints, like last time. But we're going to do something different. We're going to go for an advanced use of waypoints. We're going to talk drone again. We're going to talk the remote control block, because that's all we've got access to at this point in time. And with that remote control block, it is possible to make cargo drones like I've got going on here, going from my ice mine to a dock up in the hills. And here is our light drone repurposed for this demonstration, this tutorial. So what have we got? Well, we have our light drones. If I just jump into the control panel of this, you'll see it has a remote control on it and a couple of timer blocks. So to start with, our remote control is set to collision avoidance on and precision mode off. With precision mode off, the drone will fly much faster. Its forward direction is forward as well. And so if I just undock this drone, take it up a few meters, orientate it in a direction, and hit autopilot, it has two waypoints. It has an arrival waypoint and it has a docking waypoint. Now, as it moves towards the landing pad, you'll see that actually it's going to start rising as it gets closer, because at the moment I have collision avoidance on. It's detecting any potential grids and voxels in the way. Now, compared to automatons, this remote control is not as good. It can do the job, but it can get confused and it can sometimes smack into mountains. It's not very good at evasive maneuvers, etc., etc. So you really have to be careful with it, but it will do the job from A to B. And all you don't need to program a complex series of waypoints. You just need an arrival waypoint and a docking waypoint. When we get to the arrival waypoint, what's going to happen is the remote control is going to switch off collision avoidance to allow us to land on the grid and turn on precision mode to allow the grid to land on the pad and connector. And you'll see that this time, unlike last time in the video, the connector locks. Well, let's take a look at this drone, shall we? Let's just unlock and hover up. Let's take a look, first of all, at the remote control. And on the remote control, we have some waypoints. Remember, we set them up last time as 5 and 6. And if you look at our actions, you can see on 5, when it arrives at that waypoint, it will turn off the collision avoidance and it will put on precision mode. And then when it moves to waypoint 6, it's going to start the timer block. So if we look on our grid now at timer block, and then we come down to the actions part of the timer block, do that again. So you'll see that the action is the drone connector there, and it's set to lock. By now, you should know how to do actions. If you don't know how to do that, just watch any of my other videos. But as a quick recap, all you have to do is click on the block you want in here with A and select the action you want it to do. This will lock the connector after about a second. But how do we get that to work? We go back to our remote control, remember, and we have an action on our remote control that says at this waypoint here, start that timer block. So the same as you would before, pick the timer block in the list like this, press A and choose the action that is timer block start. That will start the timer block off. When the timer block counts 1 second, the timer block will trigger the connector on the drone to lock. Now what you can do after this is you can start the whole undocking process, because without the event controller, we can't determine when a cargo box is full or when a ship is refueled. So what we have to do is time it. So we have a second timer block, and that second timer block is triggered off the first timer block. So the moment that timer block does its thing and ceremoniously locks the connector down, it's going to start counting on the second timer block. And you can tell the second timer block that you want that timer block to undock the connector and turn it off, or switch the lock on it, or unlock it, depending on what you want to do. I suggest using unlock, because switch lock can go wrong if the grid goes out of sync. But I want to make these as easy and digestible as possible. I don't want them to run too long. So in the third part, we'll look at adding the step where we stay on this pad for about 60 seconds. And then after those 60 seconds are over, we're going to have our grid turn back on its collision detection, turn off its precision mode, and it's also going to start the remote control and fly to a waypoint set above the other landing pad and rinse and repeat that landing sequence over there. It will take several timer blocks and some fiddling, but it is possible to do. You can see my drones doing it all on this particular map. Until then, though, I'm going to cut this one here, because, as I said, I don't want it to be too long. I don't want to go on for ages and ages. And I will be doing a mod showcase as well, just to draw your attention to it, of some interesting blocks that have been developed by Krieg and Kingsnet, called Brass, for X-Doc Hades Rage. And this allows more variety on ship builds. Extruded blocks, longer blocks, panels of blocks to making these ships even better. Until then, though, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. We are going to get the new update in April. We don't have a date in April yet, but it is coming in April, so stay tuned for that. And as I always say, bye for now.